So hopefully we can get through this. Yes, I'm early. Why am I early? Because I have to leave in about 15 minutes or less to actually dash off to another business meeting. But there we are then. So welcome to another reading from the Science of Mind Daily Guides, courtesy of Creative Life Spiritual Center. From the Science of Mind magazine, that is. Today's reading is called, let me just pull it up here. It's called In the Right Place. In the Right Place. The first quote is from Emily Cady, or give her full title, H. Emily Cady, from whom we've heard before, the New Thoughts. Person from the early part of the 20th century, very well known then. Your greatest work will be done in your own God-appointed channel. In other words, within us. As Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Ernest Holmes says, I have an inner understanding of my place in the universe. I know it is unique. I have an inner understanding of my place in the universe. I know it is unique. In other words, there's nobody exactly like you and me. Nobody has, however close they are, even identical twins, nobody is exactly the same, and nobody has the same gift that they can bring to the world and to the all. I actually prefer to use the word the all or spirit. Why? Because to me, the universe is, even though it's massive, it's kind of finite. And I don't think the universe describes the ground of all being. That's all. It's really as simple as that. This is another good story here. Reverend Joanna is very good about bringing stories that have got a message, or taking stories and actually extracting from them the message that she wants. One Friday night, when Marianne McGeorge and Sue Sanderson volunteered at a youth center in their community, a woman came in seeking the food pantry. With nothing to eat, she told them, "Can you help us?" Well, Marianne McGeorge and Sue Sanderson didn't know where there was a food pantry in the building. They gave her what food they had with them, and then on the following Monday, they set out to learn where the food pantry was, only to be disappointed. They found it off of a narrow hallway upstairs in the village hall and learned that to use it, people had to call a little-known phone number. The pantry provided non-perishable goods only once a month to each client. The pair decided that approach had to change. Not surprisingly, right? Recruiting 4 friends, they started, quote, Comfort Food Community, unquote, which grew into a $1.1 million nonprofit within 9 years. The organized mission goes far beyond providing food. 8 staff members and 100 volunteers seek to reduce food waste, educate people about nutrition and food preparation, and partner with the medical community to provide healthy food as a medicine. The organization runs a backpack food program, a community garden, and a distribution effort for local farms to donate their excess produce. She ends by saying, I've no doubt that Spirit put McGeorge and Sanderson in that youth center together with the woman who needed food so that they could realize their purpose to nourish people, spreading good throughout their community and beyond. So the message really, at least if I take the affirmation to be the message, which it is in this case, is in the last paragraph that I just read. And I'm going to read it because it's really part of the whole message. Wherever I happen to be, I know that I am in the right place at the right time. Wherever I happen to be, I am in the right place at the right time. I open myself to what is mine to do wherever I find myself. I open myself for what is mine to do wherever I find myself. So in other words, there's no such thing as a coincidence, but there are spirit-induced incidences or incidents, and this was one of them. And the other side of the coin is this, that sometimes we just don't see what's going on, because often we're so focused on what we're doing ourselves, we don't see things going on around us, we don't see opportunities. And this is not to criticize anybody, it's just the way we are as humans, we get distracted. But the more that you do your spiritual work, the more you become aware of what's going on around you. And when you become aware of what's going on around you, things open up. They've always been there, but we've not always seen them. We've not always noticed them. For instance, Creative Life Spiritual Center had been where it is now for 40 years or so. Well, I don't know where they moved in that building, but anyway, it's been around for about 40 years. I found out about it maybe 14 years ago, but it'd always been there. I just had not noticed it. Why? Because my wife hadn't noticed it, and she had not taken in what one of our friends who was a practitioner was telling her about the center. It just, because it wasn't on our radar at that time. And things like this crop up all the time. So our job in life is, as Reverend Jesse says, to keep the high watch. It's to simply be aware of situations where we can do something to help. And also to be open to these situations coming in. And when we're open to it, trust me, Spirit is not going to disappoint you. Spirit is going to bring in opportunities to which you can respond. It's a pretty simple message, but the whole key is, as we said before, Reverend Lisa harps on self-care, which, as I've said before, is great, and it's very, very necessary. It's the foundation of everything. The thing I harp on, if anything, is living a life of awareness. Be aware of what's going on around us. Why? Because when you are aware, you can do something about it. And it's amazing that when you live your life to become more open, how many things are there that you've not seen before? As we said, a couple about to have a baby, we'll see baby things everywhere. You're going to buy a red car of a particular type, you're going to see those everywhere. They've always been there, but you didn't notice them because they were not important to you at the time. And as we do our spiritual work, opportunities to help other people come into our experience because it's on our radar. These things start to creep into the edges of our radar, and then we just have to be prepared to do something about it. So it's simple message, but like all simple messages, it's not easy. So in other words, we do our spiritual work in order to live a life of awareness. And that's really all I got to offer for today, because I really do have to go. I have to get in our vehicle and dash down there. Once again, if you need help, please reach out to us. Whatever medium you see my broadcast on, we're here. I've given you an email there that you can actually respond to. Tomorrow when I have more time, I'll put up my text. I've got a phone that I just used for this. I'll put it up there so you can text me. And believe me, when people reach out to us, we're happy, because that's what we're here for. We're not happy if situations aren't good for people, but we are happy that when these things do happen, and they happen to most of us sometime, we can actually help you. So with that, I'm just going to simply say, take care, au revoir, namaste.